If your last name was Woods, every swing would be judged before the club even reached the ball. Every round would come with noise. Every mistake would be replayed. And every good shot would come with the same question: is this real, or is this just hype? That's what makes this story feel different. Because this wasn't just another junior event, and it wasn't just another famous name on a leaderboard. Charlie Woods came into one of the toughest fields in junior golf, ranked number 606. Not 6, not 60, 606. And by the end of the week, the entire golf world was staring at the scoreboard in disbelief. But the craziest part is not just that he won. It's how he won. The pressure, the names he had to beat, the expectations hanging over every shot, and the moment where everything could have slipped away. This is one of those golf stories that reminds you why we watch, why we care, and why this game can still surprise us when we think we've seen it all. And if you truly love golf, if this game means something to you, and if stories like this make you feel why golf is different from every other sport, then subscribe and be part of this golf family. Because around here, we don't just watch scores. We live the moments behind them. Charlie Woods has never had the luxury of being just another junior golfer. From the first time fans saw him beside Tiger, there was already a storyline waiting for him. People weren't just watching a kid learn the game. They were watching a last name. They were watching a shadow. They were watching potential, pressure, and comparison all at once. That can make golf feel less like a sport and more like a test you never signed up to take. And for a while, the story around Charlie was familiar. Flashes of talent, big attention, a lot of debate. Some people saw the mechanics, the touch, the instincts. Others saw the spotlight and assumed the praise came too early. That's the thing about golf fans. We respect proof. We respect scoreboards. And until a player does it when it matters, the conversation never fully changes. But here's the part nobody talks about. Rankings can tell you where someone stands. They do not always tell you what someone is becoming. Coming into the Team TaylorMade Invitational, Charlie was ranked number 606 in the AJGA rankings and was one of the lowest-ranked players in the field. This was not a soft event. This was a serious test against elite junior talent, including top-ranked names. On paper, this was supposed to be a learning week, a valuable experience, a chance to compete, maybe hang around, maybe show flashes. That's what most people would have expected. ESPN Golf Digest. But golf does not care about paper. It never has. At first, the story was quiet. That's what makes great tournament runs so dangerous. They don't always arrive with fireworks. Sometimes they begin with patience. A few solid holes. A clean stretch. A player settling into the round, while bigger names are expected to own the stage. And slowly, almost without warning, the scoreboard starts telling a different story. That's where this became more than a famous name headline. Charlie wasn't just surviving in the field. He was building something. Shot by shot, round by round. The kind of tournament golf that makes you lean forward because you start realizing this is no longer about potential. This is about performance. And this is where everything changed. When the final round arrived, the pressure was completely different. Early in a week, you can swing freely because almost nobody expects you to actually finish the job. But when you get close to the top, the weight changes. Every fairway matters more. Every missed putt feels louder. Every camera feels closer. And for Charlie Woods, that pressure was not normal junior pressure. It was amplified by the name, by the audience, by the history people wanted to attach to him before he ever had the chance to create his own. That's why the final round 66 hits so hard. Not because 66 is just a number, but because of what that number required. Control, confidence, nerve, belief. He made 8 birdies in that round. 8. In the closing round of a loaded invitational. That is not hanging on. That is not getting lucky. That is attacking. That is answering pressure with golf shots. ESPN Golf Digest. And wait till you hear what happened next. When the tournament ended, Charlie Woods was the champion at 15 under par, winning by 3 shots. Let that sink in. A player who entered the week ranked number 606 didn't just sneak into contention. He won convincingly, against one of the strongest junior fields he could have faced. That is the kind of result that forces everyone to stop speaking in theories and start speaking in facts. ESPN Golf Channel. Now here's why golf fans connected with this so deeply. It wasn't just about a son of a legend doing something impressive. It was about seeing a young player carry a burden most golfers will never understand. Imagine being judged before your prime. Imagine being compared before you've had time to fail, learn, and grow. Imagine every round being treated like a referendum on your future. That's what made this one feel emotional. Because for 1 week, Charlie was not just Tiger's son. He was the player who stood up in a big event and delivered. That matters. But let's keep this real, because realism is what makes the story more powerful, not less. One tournament does not guarantee a career. One title does not mean the road suddenly becomes easy. Junior golf is brutal. Development is not linear. Expectations can rise faster than results. And in Charlie's case, the noise is only going to get louder now. Every event from here will come with more cameras, more opinions, more pressure, and more people waiting to decide too soon what he is or isn't. That's the danger of a breakthrough. It can inspire people, but it can also trap them into rushing the future. And this is the part nobody should ignore. The best thing about Charlie's win is not that it proves he is already something finished. It proves he is something real. There's a difference. Golf fans know that difference. We've seen high before. We've seen names before. We've seen juniors who looked great for a moment and vanished when the grind got harder. What Charlie showed here was not perfection. He showed competitive substance. He showed that in a real event, against real players, under real pressure, he could produce a round and a week that mattered. That should excite golf fans. Because the game is always looking for its next wave, its next rivalries, its next stories. We don't just love golf for major championships. We love seeing the road that leads there. We love the uncertain years, the growth years, the moments where a player goes from being an idea to becoming a genuine name in the conversation. And if you're a golf fan, there's something beautiful about this part of the journey. It's still early. Nothing is guaranteed. No script has been fully written. Charlie Woods still has to earn everything that comes next. But that uncertainty is exactly why this one matters so much. It gave the story stakes. It gave the story credibility. It made people believe that this is not just a media fascination. This is a young golfer with actual game, actual resilience, and a real chance to build something meaningful. But here's the emotional twist in all of this. The ranking jump and the trophy are impressive, yes. But the deeper story is about identity. At some point, every player has to step out of comparison and into self-definition. For Charlie, that may be the most important part of this entire moment. Not the headlines, not the viral reactions, not the social media explosion. The important part is that somewhere in the middle of that tournament, he gave the golf world a reason to see him more clearly as himself. That's huge, because in golf, confidence is not built by applause. It's built by evidence, by seeing your own ball fly under pressure, by making your own putts when the tournament is in front of you, by walking off the course knowing that no one handed you anything. Charlie didn't inherit that win. He earned it, and that is why this story landed the way it did. And yet, maybe the most inspiring part is what this says to every young golfer watching. Rankings matter, but they do not tell the whole story. The outside world can label you. It can underestimate you. It can reduce you to a number. But golf has a way of opening a door when you're ready. One hot week, one fearless round, one performance that changes how people look at you forever. That is why this story feels bigger than one junior tournament. It's about pressure. It's about patience. It's about proving something to yourself before you prove it to the crowd. And it's about one of the most famous names in sports beginning, little by little, to sound less like an echo and more like a voice of its own. So when people remember this moment, they should remember more than the ranking, more than the shock value, more than the surprise of a 606th ranked player winning. They should remember that golf, at its best, still gives us these moments where reputation fades, predictions collapse, and the score tells the truth. This is why stories like this matter, because they remind us that golf is not just about greatness at the top. It's about the long, uncertain road to get there. It's about pressure that nobody sees. It's about belief that survives doubt. And it's about the rare moment when a young player steps into the storm and comes out with something nobody can take away from him. Charlie would shock golf, yes. But maybe the real shock is this. The number beside your name can change fast when your game finally catches up to your moment. So now I want to hear from you. Was this simply one incredible week? Or do you believe this was the moment Charlie Woods truly announced himself for the golf world? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you love golf stories that actually mean something, stay with this channel, because there are more moments like this ahead. Factual anchor points used in the script. Charlie Woods entered the event ranked number 606, shot a final round 66 with 8 birdies, won the Team TaylorMade Invitational at 15 under, and earned his first AJGA title against a highly ranked field.